Yo, hello, welcome. So we're gonna do another test damage for the fireball enhancement build, and if you don't know which build I'm talking about, I'll leave a link for it down below. Now I did some changes since the last time, which something you guys told me about, which try multiple rocket launcher. Originally I couldn't use multiple rocket launcher since I had flamethrower, but now I can use it since I don't have the barricade, and I need flamethrower to activate the barricade. So, and also I moved my 2 gems to the multiple rocket launcher, which will be very helpful in this build later. I'll talk about it after we do the damage. And then we have I moved also to guiding, so I get the second. So the second difference now is useful since I don't have the barricade. I don't need to care about it. Okay, and everything is the same. I'll leave a link for the build down below. Now let's reset cooldown there. Okay, now I'm gonna do a 2-minute damage. Also I have reality on me, so that's gonna increase my damage a little bit better. But yeah, I should get it in fast. All right, let's do a 2-minute DPS. Okay, so the same thing like always. The way you play firepower is simple. It's a very simple build. You just wanna use a combo or so to get the firepower enhancement. After that, your rotations are simple. The only thing you have to keep in mind is this build is to just keep enhanced shield on the boss to have the 12% defense on it. They're just something very standard to keep your synergy on the boss, and since your synergy it could have 100% uptime, so there is no point not to have it 100% uptime. Also, one more thing, I think I discussed this in the last one, is that when you play this build you don't want to use barrage mode at any time. You just want to use it when you have, if you want to use the shield, if you want to use the CC immunity, or if you want to deal damage. The perfect time is to use it when you use your rotation and you have like a good amount of downtime. That's when you use it, because comparing the damage from the barrage mode that we deal with the firepower enhancement build is very low compared to the amount of damage we deal normally. So it's kind of better to use it only when you have a downtime. And yeah, okay. So also the one reason that I like the idea of having the rocket launcher right now, multi rocket, is that I can move the 2 gems to it. Now moving the 2 gems, 1 damage and 1 cooldown to this ability makes me lose 1 cooldown gem for my stagger ability, so that makes it lower. But 18 seconds for a stagger ability that one-shot stagger is really good, since you can always keep it up and use it only when you need to. And now that helps me playing different builds, which we'll talk about after we finish this, so I can show you what I'm talking about. And most important thing I want to say is that my crit rate is a bit lower than usual, and the reason for that is that I switched the 1 earring to 1 ring just to make it better for me when I go in a party with a crit synergy with me. I want to use the crit synergy to its max. So yeah, 580. I did another test, it was 600. I did another test, it was 580. So obviously there's a good improvement, and this improvement exists when I'm in Trixion with this build, which I'm planning to make it better when we do with a raid with the party synergy with crit, because I didn't crit with a lot sometimes with the biggest abilities. Now, one thing I want to talk about before we just finish this, yeah, this is like a damage test, but I want to add something. Right now, my damage comes from these abilities, so nail shot is not a must to have in the build. So you can switch it up in a way where like you can, when you don't need stagger damage, if you don't need stagger damage, you can lose the naval shot and add instead of it forward barrage, which will give you a shorter cooldown counter, and then you can move the skill points to enhance shell to level 11 to get armor, enhanced bullet, and ignition like the old build, which will give you damage. So right now we have 2 builds to play with. So I'll show you the damage I dealt with this build. It was 615 or something. I'll show it, and that's basically the difference. So if you want to go for a faster rotation and a little bit more damage, you would go for that. If you need the stagger and you want to have it, you can play with this one, and as you saw, there is not much of a difference damage you lose, so it's really good. That's what I wanted to reach the most. So yeah, now we have a really high damage build with the defense, the CC immune, everything, and this stagger ability is amazing. Once you try it in any raid that requires stagger, you're gonna love it. All right, so yeah, that's the last thing about this damage test. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.